Well, hello and welcome to another episode of From Brian's Brain. And Brian, it's so good to see you via Zoom, but I am even more excited that a little over a month from now, get to see you in person.
Exactly. That's going to be so. I've been looking forward to it ever since the dates came out and everything. And so we have our air stuff already done, hotel stuff already done, and we're just waiting. But there are still some folks that still haven't joined, that haven't said, "Ooh, I want to go to the Pioneer Network." It's going to be phenomenal, folks. If you haven't joined up, there's still a way to do it. Joan, you can give them the link or tell them how to do it.
Absolutely. Just go to our website, www.pioneernetwork.net, and click on the registration.
Exactly.
But as we've been busy. Obviously, Brian, you've been working on the pieces you're doing for the conference, and I've been doing the other pieces, and so excited to see people's names fly by my screen as they register. But, life goes on, and there's been lots of other things happening as well. And I know you and Maureen have been doing so much work. And I understand you've got a great new blog that just came out.
Yes. And I don't normally do this. I don't normally read my blog. But no, I read the blog. I don't do it on this. I think I just better shut up and get to it. We did a blog post. And it's all about, the what ifs when it comes to care partners caring for their person, whether it's their spouse, whether it's a friend or a relative, and so forth. So what I would like to do is I would just like to read it through. It comes up, there's a lot of points that come up that I think it could be things that no one has thought of before. And we have a unique thing that we put in there that people could use that for, in their lives and so forth. So if it's okay with you, I would like to go ahead and do this, and away we go. Is that okay?
Sounds perfect.
All right, here we go. This blog post is named "Dealing with the Emotions of Life Care Planning." So here we go. I was upset. So was Maureen. I suspect a number of our care partners were I suspect a number of our care partners were too. But the conversation needed to be had. We needed to update our life care plan to have tough talk some of us desperately needed. Now, the tough talk is needed, like we said. Maureen, my life partner, she does so much for me as we trek through this path with Alzheimer's and vascular dementia together. I still cling to my independence. Sometimes, I admit, a bit too much. But truth be told, I know the reality. I'm dependent upon Maureen for a lot of things these days. She's my everything, and I love her dearly for it. I need her here to help me through the fog most days, to coordinate my schedule and doctor's appointments, to finish my sentences, and to preserve steadily fading memories. I just need her here. I've grown accustomed to having her here to help me, and I know she will always be. But the most important thing is understanding that I needed to come to I'm having trouble reading this morning. I know she will always be here, but the most important thing is understanding that I needed to come to what was that everything was not all about me. Maureen has a life, she has her own health issues. She has a business to run and clients to see. Without having the time and space to handle her business, she won't have that health and energy to handle our business and my business. So we took action and adjusted our life care plan. We called a meeting of all our care partners, a meeting of our care partners team. Luckily for us, Maureen is a professional life care planner and board certified patient advocate, so she knows how to orchestrate all this. The goal is to have a plan in place for if Maureen can be there for short and prolonged periods of time. And thanks to our brilliant friends and care partner, Mel Coppola, we arrived at the new 222 life care plan. Maureen wrote an awesome blog about this plan, and I wouldn't dare speak for her. I know better than to poke the bear. So, of course, I'm here to discuss the emotions of it all, because that's what I do. As much as humor and lightness is like to bring those discussions up for the betterment of others living with Alzheimer's disease and other types of dementia, there's a sadder, darker perspective that always must be addressed. For what seems for the first time, this has nothing to do with my health struggles, my personal needs, or my mortality. I won't be here very long to help you in the end. How did those words taste? Okay, so it's obviously hard to remember the details, but I remember that emotion just fine. The care partner team met at our place to discuss what should happen if Maureen was not available for 2 hours, 2 days, and 2 weeks. It's the 222 method. I was in the middle of my "what about me" spiel. I couldn't fathom it. Why wouldn't she be available? Isn't she always supposed to be here to help me? Okay, Brian, if I can't attend to my own medical and personal needs, I won't be here very long to help you in the end, Maureen said. It hit me like a bolt of lightning. If ever there was a mic drop, that was it. I was immediately disarmed. I went from being angry and, I hate to admit it, but a bit selfish, to being more understanding. And if it's even possible, it made me more in love with her. How could I have been so blind? I know she doesn't blame me. Neither do the other members of our care partner team. When everything has been about you for so long, any person would naturally fall into that pattern. So with the emotional baggage out of the way, we were free to discuss what to do about it. So with the understanding that Maureen, the light of my life, has to have the time and space to be the light of her own life, to help herself and many others like me at her job, we adjusted our life care plan. We learned way back in November that a health issue for Maureen could derail the most professionally crafted life care plan. We learned that it must be flexible and factor the unexpected. Who will be there to sit with me for a few hours while Maureen attends to a client? Whose steps when she must go through to the hospital for a few days, even for a few weeks? The 222 plan, thanks to our tough discussions, now address all of that. Care partners whose level of commitment may have changed were able to voice their new realities. Immediacy is an issue for some due to work and family responsibilities. And that's cool. Completely understandable. Now we know. Someone else, a neighbor perhaps, they may not need help in a pinch, but they still need it. We need to engage a home care or respite care agency to manage things in a more long-term situation. And that's fine. I'm looking forward to meeting them and us getting to know each other. So we now move forward with confidence. All of our care partners showed up for the meeting, not a single absence. It felt so good to know that our friends and loved ones care that deeply. On a personal note, it was refreshing to sit down and chat with them. It's hard to maintain relationships when you have dementia. Lots of people stop coming around and it gets lonely. But as I always say, I may have dementia, but dementia doesn't have me. I'm so happy we were able to get together, have some real discussion, and emerge with a new life care plan that works for everyone. Until we meet again, peace.
Thank you, Brian. That was heartfelt. It was a beautiful personal story, and it reminds us all and gives us some tools to help, whether it's a situation in our own families that we have to work through, whether it's helping those who live in our care centers, in our assisted living communities, helping those family members to understand how they can be a part of this plan. And I love the fact that you talked about the flexibility of it and the care for the caregiver, because that is so very important. That too many times it's the caregiver that we lose in these situations because they lose themselves in all that they're trying to do.
And they feel like they are sometimes pushed aside because the person that's living with dementia gets more attention. Yeah. But then you have the other side of it, to where friends and relatives and, no matter who they are, those conversations just shut down. So all you're left with is, some family members and the care partner. Now, luckily, Maureen has 2 daughters, and we have Emma, who is our granddaughter. And even at 4 years old, she's beginning to understand about, what I have and so forth, and what I go through every day.
Children offer incredible wisdom.
Yeah. And now her other daughter is going to be having a baby in, I'm not really sure when, but it's coming up. So we'll have 2 little grandchildren that will be able to not only bring joy to our lives, but, just in case something happens further down the road, they will have an understanding, more of an understanding. Let's put it that way.
Well, again, Brian, I know our times together, our chats are short, but I truly enjoyed them, and I hope that others do as well. Thank you so much for sharing not only what comes out of your brain, but more importantly, what comes out of your heart with us all the time. And I cannot wait to see you in Denver. I hope others are able to see Brian again or meet him for the first time, and enjoy a conversation over a cup of coffee or a bottle of water or maybe a glass of wine.
I like the wine, Joan.
Okay, we got you. Well, Brian, thank you.
And remember, I got my Colorado shirt on, so y'all can get one too when y'all go there. So okay. There you go.
Ready to go. Well, thank you, Brian, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Joan. You as well. See you in Colorado.
You got it.